Why are we in such a confusing market? Why is Bitcoin not running? Why is crypto not running? Why is it not topped out yet? Or is it topped out yet? Why is the S&P 500 up, down, barely making new highs, barely making lower lows? What is going on? Things aren't squeezing. We are in a weird, wonky market. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today, first things first, we have to talk about cryptocurrency. Is the cycle over? Is the bull market over? How does it correlate to AMC and GameStop? And then we're going to cover the overall market and some additional plays towards the end of the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have post notifications on. First things first, we talked a little bit about Bitcoin recently on the weekly time frame, the Bitcoin power law corridor I have overlaid on the logarithmic scale. And what we notice is that Bitcoin is in a 4-year cycle. It's put very simple. It is in a 4-year cycle, and Bitcoin has had diminishing returns over the time of these past 4 cycles. So the first high, we had about a 60,000% gain. Then we had about a almost 12,000% gain, then a 2,000% gain. And then finally, this cycle around, we're only up around 600%. But is that actually the top? Well, we do notice that Bitcoin on the monthly time frame is building out a bearish pattern. It is trading at 96,000, and in my personal opinion, it would need to close above 100K for the month of February. Now, given we have a lot of time for that to happen, we have some other indicators showing that the cycle has potentially topped out. But I've found something pretty interesting. This cycle, this time around, is a little bit different. You see, the past cycles, Bitcoin has topped out from the beginning of the cycle around 1,090 days in. The next cycle was 1,050 days in. And then the next cycle, which we are in now, would bring Bitcoin's top in November of 2025. This is all potentially. This doesn't have to necessarily happen. In fact, the most recent cycle basically just tested its top for a second time instead of making an actual newer high. So the top, you could say, was potentially in 833 days in, which would technically put this cycle late April coming into early May. Now, why is this time different? First of all, we're getting a lot less volatility than we have had the previous cycles. We have also gotten major institutional adoption on Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency space has been completely different this bull market around. We have seen altcoins get money flown into them, as well as memes get money flown into them at the times that they were not supposed to have money flow into them. Okay, so retail, I've found that a lot of retail investors have been having trouble. They put money over here, and then the car starts switching to somewhere else, right? The fastest moving train is somewhere else. They end up selling for a loss, chasing that one, and back to back to back, eventually deteriorating their portfolio. Now, we have institutional adoption on Bitcoin. We also have a very pro-crypto president, which shows that the top may not be in. Especially seeing the institutional adoption, it also shows that we don't necessarily know if the top is going to be in. So what we can speculate on is that if Bitcoin closes above 100K in February, the month of February, great. We have the top that comes in late April. That is what we are watching for. If we look at Ethereum and how this correlates, and don't worry, we're going to get into AMC, GameStop, and other, like what it means for the altcoins in general, we have talked about the 4-year cycles on Ethereum. Okay, we've actually targeted out these cycles a little bit differently into segments that map out perfectly what Ethereum does, indicating that we could have seen a potential top on not only Bitcoin, but Ethereum as well. And Ethereum has had very, very, very much so diminishing returns. Now, 616 days in, Ethereum hit its top during the first cycle. 616 days in, you can't make it up, Ethereum hit its top during the second cycle. 616 days in to this cycle would put us very early June, around June 9th or so. June 9th to June 1st, right? So late April, early June, same thing. So Bitcoin and Ethereum could have one more rally coming into June. Now, what happened with Dogecoin? Dogecoin, we're going to use as the whole meme crypto segment as well as the altcoin segment. First of all, I just want to let you know, with institutional adoption coming into Bitcoin, here's why it's so tricky. We have seen a market cap, first of all, Pump.fun, that website ruined a lot of stuff for the crypto market because it brought a ton of retail investors fighting each other for crypto projects that have no backing to them and have no sustainability, so they just get rug pulled. Okay, so Pump.fun, I think, took a lot of the money from the memes, the original memes like Shiba, Doge, and Bonk, and so on and so on and so on. But I just want to say, with institutional adoption, it's very hard to map out where the top of the market cap is going to be for crypto as a whole. We're at about a 3.5 trillion market cap. Is that going to top out around 4 trillion? Is it topped out now? Can we reach 8 trillion, 10 trillion, right? Who really knows? Okay, what does this mean for Dogecoin? Dogecoin 672 days in hit its peak. If we saw something very, very similar, okay, we would coincidentally see the peak June 21st or early June in the cycle. So what we're seeing as in the broader perspective, in the broader sense, is that crypto will top out during late April coming into June. Now, if we look at GameStop, the same exact thing, and we'll show you AMC as well, right? The same exact setup, if we're in a 4-year cycle, is this, right? Just like Roaring Kitty talked about, the recall, all that other stuff, the 4-year cycle. This previous cycle dragged out 4-year cycle. What do you see? You see a peak. First of all, we would see it very early March, and that would be a very fast move up. And then ultimately, you'd see the peak late June coming into July, if this cycle is the same, or potentially even April. You look at GameStop, same thing, you drag the 4-year cycle, you figure out if it fits, and what you see, late April, early May, GameStop would have its peak. Now, this isn't picture perfect. I'm just showing you, mapping out 4-year cycles, what it would mean. And crypto, I think, is giving us the first signals as to where these things could potentially go. So does that mean AMC and GameStop aren't going to squeeze right now? Well, no, not necessarily. That just maps out a potential peak for it. I also want to let you know a couple of other things that I want to point out as well. GameStop's trading at $24.79. A lot of people are purchasing call options again at these prices. We're getting a lot of money flow coming into the options chain for over 100% out of the money. But why is that the case? Well, implied volatility, okay, is near the 52-week low. This, in fact, is going to be the best time to purchase in the options chain for GameStop and AMC. It means the premium you're paying, the percentage for that premium is insanely low. In fact, the lowest it's been in the past 365 days. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of call options flow in. And what's so good about that is GameStop has built a floor now above $20. In fact, above Roaring Kitty's average price, around 22 to 23 bucks. We're trading at 24.80. Okay, you're likely to see something happen pretty soon. And based off of the 4-year cycle, we are still in a melt up, aiming for upside coming into April, May, which would also bring the timeline from Roaring Kitty posting the dog, saying, basically showing that he's waiting, and it might be a boring period between January 9th to April 20th. It might be potentially a boring period, but he'll wait as long as it takes, and then we may see something there. Okay, so we do have just a couple of setups that I wanted to point out to you guys. What would that necessarily mean? Well, first of all, let's just cover this really quick. AMC dropped that they are going to have their earnings call on February 25th, 2025. So that's the next thing that we are watching out for and paying attention to. But overall, what does this mean? This means, in my opinion, you accumulate your favorite crypto projects. You accumulate your positions for AMC, GameStop. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but you get in the positions that you want to have when things move, and you wait on them, right? And it's likely to come over the next couple of months. This could be a very, very important wealth transfer that you see, okay? Because otherwise, you might have to wait until 2029, and I know you're not going to want to do that. GameStop saw another ugly quote-unquote glitch. Just target manipulation by market makers, up 7% overnight and then wicked immediately back down. Simple price testing, stop loss hunting. AMC is trading 72% now in the dark pool, which is absolutely disgusting. The SEC isn't doing anything about it. And speaking of the SEC, everyone's talking about this new short sale rule reporting filing that was implemented January 2nd coming into effect today, which is not correct. This actually will come into effect for the short reporting February 15th. And it doesn't necessarily mean too much, but it could do a couple of things. First of all, if institutions are using swaps or options to hide short positions, which we know they are, their reported net short position may look artificially low. Analysts can then compare this against other data sources like FINRA and Ortex to spot discrepancies. Market makers and prime brokers who facilitate synthetic shorts might still be net short themselves, meaning their positions could show up. And if synthetic shorting is extreme, the reported short interest might look suspiciously low compared to trading activity, exposing manipulation. So it doesn't necessarily show synthetic short positions, but it may show discrepancies between net short positions. So having dealt with swaps or options to outweigh their short positions, showing artificially low short interest on the stock, which potentially could trigger us for our next move. We don't know what would happen after that, but we are waiting for February 15th. So February 15th that happens, then AMC reports February 25th. Now, if you guys haven't yet, make sure to like the video. Gold prices continue to rise. We can't look away from this. Even if we are on a 4-year cycle, is a market crash still potentially in effect, and will crypto crash with it? Guys, again, this is all speculation. Based on the charts, this is what we're looking at, but I want you to know that based on institutional adoption, everything could be different this time around. So gold rises to record highs, and I want you to put one of these in the comments down below. One of these words as to where you think we are in the overall market. Do you think we're at hope, disbelief, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, or anger? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, the SPY, where are we going with the SPY? 605.25, we closed above 604, which shows that we are bullish on the SPY. But what's so scary about the SPY, first of all, we had a descending parallel channel. We broke up to the upside, which was great. But now we are failing to make higher highs as of right now on the SPY. And we did technically not make lower lows because of this candle wick that you saw January 27th. Just because of that candle wick, we failed to make lower lows on the SPY, and we held this parallel channel. So the top of this parallel channel could be 607.50, and we'd look for a rejection on the SPY. If SPY at any point decides that it closes and opens above 609.50, then the SPY is likely to have a move to 612 to 616. But as of right now, the SPY could have a shot by February 12th coming down to 590 or lower, which brings me into the point that BLS will revise the 2024 job numbers on Friday, February 7th, 2025, which could, it's just a risky thought, right? Which could trigger a market downfall, just very briefly at least, right? Another quote unquote excuse for the market to flash down. And it could be worth taking a little bit of risk and entering puts into the weekend. Nothing I say is financial advice. Again, I'm just a dude on YouTube. This is all in my opinion. Next up, Tesla. First of all, Tesla's new registrations in Germany fell almost 60% in January. Tesla is now trading at an important level because it's below 375, and it came all the way down to test 363, which is a key support level. But what you want to note is that when we got to that level, you saw a lot of volume. This is going to be Tesla's structural support for now. And if we get under 363, it could be a bloodbath. You may flush all the way very quickly to 354.80. I want you to put that level on your radar. And then following that, 315, so on and so on and so on. Also, keep an eye on DJT. It's up almost 7%. I wanted to point out one thing. This is an old cycle that DJT played back, coincidentally, 4 years ago, right? 3-4 years ago. You drag it over, no, it's not perfect. But what we see is that DJT did get this move higher right here, okay? It did get this wick higher, okay? And what happens after it chop trades down here? It did get this move as well. This move as well. What happens after that? You see a way bigger move higher. Now, I don't know where that move is going to be. Maybe it's lower this time around. Maybe it's to 37. Or maybe it's higher, right? Maybe it is to $100. Who knows? But you guys have to note that when Trump is in, DJT could have large swings as well as the Trump coin just something to keep on your radar. On top of that, President Trump's Trump Media Group is set to launch multiple Bitcoin ETFs, making him the first US president in history to launch an ETF, let alone a Bitcoin ETF. We have been talking about that institutional adoption. Nvidia 128.28 up 2.5%, now trading and building a candle on the 150 EMA. We called out, we have to watch for rejection at 130.50. Okay, watch for that. If we get a rejection there, this thing could flush back down and at least retest 126.30 again. I want to talk briefly on Palantir to close out the video. 107.70 up 6.5%. Even after we smashed through 100, we built a very quick base and got another leg up. Watch for momentum to fade as we near the 109 level. If we get a hard rejection, put very simply, break under 107, Palantir is likely to flush down to the 104 range. You break above 109 and you open above 109 and you get a lot of momentum and the market sentiment is bullish, right? The SPY, the market sentiment, you're likely to have a move to 123.50 as the next very, very harsh resistance. There are levels above that Palantir would get smacked at, like 112 and potentially 119, so on and so forth. Overall, guys, get in the Discord if you're not in yet. I post my trades as soon as I take them, but we talk stocks and crypto with the most amazing people all day long, so get in here, guys. We also have tons and tons of benefits like high success trade flow, so you really don't need to chat in here if you want. If you just follow these trade flows throughout the year, you're likely to make out pretty well. We also have breakout trade alerts, option sweep alerts, insider trade alerts, dark pool activity, right? It shows you all of the data, okay? It shows you all of the data where insiders are buying, where the dark pool activity is, where the option sweep orders come in, where people are trading, right? The market news that comes out immediately on all these companies, analyst grades that change from day to day on different companies. We just have a ton of other benefits. So it's a one-stop shop. If you paid for these benefits anywhere else, it's likely to be hundreds of dollars for an individual like yourself. So just get in the Discord. It's the top link in the description. I'm trying to get 1,000 members in there of the most amazing people who actually want to level themselves up. That is the top link in the description and pin in the top comments. If you guys didn't see yesterday's video, go watch that and press the second link to get your free stock. It's for Mumu. It's a free broker. If you sign up using my link, open an account and make a deposit into there, you will start earning up to 30 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock. You're also getting access to level 2 order book data for free, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more. Again, just sign up through the link and deposit once they approve you, and you will earn also 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash if I did not mention that already. Those are the top 2 links in the description and pinned in the top of comments. That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.